You are.
There's this power strip right under on the right hand side, down below the counter. No, down below the console, the counter.
Okay.
Right there, you see it?
Yeah.
There's a switch. There you go.
There we go.
Yeah.
Lights, camera, action.
All right, the camera, the light is on. And now I'm going to reset the video, the audio for you.
This is probably the worst time in the world to do an interview at 12 o'clock at Tito's Tacos.
No, it's okay. It's all right.
And I'm all set, and I'll pop that
Let's
up
see how many
for
people
you.
bang on your door and need something, right?
No, I've got a guard outside the door.
Okay. No
My
sound.
business partner. He'll make sure that doesn't happen.
Okay.
Ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1.
Happy Thanksgiving. The sun is always shining in LA. This is one of the main reasons I think that so many people flock to LA from around the world, from all over the country. They come to LA for many, many different reasons, but sunshine is always one of the top priorities. There's two real reasons, I think. This is my theory. It's the sun, and number two, it's Tito's Tacos. That's the reason they flock to LA. Because the best taco stand in the world is located in a small peach-colored brick building, unassuming, but with a powerful draw for Los Angelinos and the rest of the world. On 11222 Washington Place, Culver City, California, 1 block north of Washington Boulevard and West Sepulveda, lies a little worldwide culinary destination. If you're driving towards Tito's Tacos, you can smell the tacos a block away. The savory beef and the corn tortillas waft through your open windows in your car. And then the next thing you see are the people. At almost every hour, there is a long line. Everyone has a smile on their face, though. This is not typical for lines. Lines in general, you're not happy to be in a line, but for Tito's Tacos, you're pretty happy. I've stood in that line many times. You park your car, you take your place in line, and you patiently wait your turn to get up to that window. All the while, your stomach is teased by the great smells wafting out from within those little walls. And you have arrived in the world, in LA. You are at Tito's Tacos. Let me tell you a little bit about it. It's been around since 1959 and was founded by Benjamin Davidson and now run by his granddaughter, Lynne Davidson, who is our very special guest today. In fact, it's noon when we're doing this show, and I was saying off air, this is not an optimal time in the restaurant business to do an interview, especially at Tito's Tacos. So those people out front of the lines might be waiting a little longer. but Lynn she's spreading the gospel of Tito's Tacos. So I'm sure they'll forgive her.
So thank you.
Lynne Davidson, yeah, she's also she runs the Tito's Tacos with co-owner Wirt Morton. Tito Tacos is an iconic Mexican fast casual restaurant in Los Angeles. It's known for its folded hard shell tacos and burritos. They're beloved by celebrities, by locals, by visitors. I used to be a local, Santa Monica. Now I'm a visitor, so I fit two of those categories. The menu at Tito's Tacos features crispy beef tacos, tamales, which we're going to talk about today. I can't wait. Burritos, enchiladas, tostadas, and guacamole. The award-winning cuisine is made from scratch using original recipes and is served to thousands of loyal fans daily, often by employees that have been there for decades at Tito's Tacos. They stay with you. And that's something, too, a testament to the times that you have employees that have stayed so long, that love your family. They are family, I'm sure. If you're at home right now, I encourage you to go to titostacos.com. If you got a laptop or your phone in front of you and start looking at the menu. Decide what you want. Get down there. So I love this. You're the granddaughter of the original founder, 1959. Davidson also received recently the prestigious Elizabeth Burns Lifetime Achievement Award from the California Restaurant Association for her advocacy for restaurants. Congratulations for that, Lynn.
Thank you very
Well,
much.
and welcome. Welcome to the Jeremiah Show. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to you too. I've had a lot of fun.
You've had fun already? You mean at the show
Yes.
or in life? I have
Both.
both. I have a feeling you've had a lot of fun in life too. You look
Yeah.
like a person that lives and has fun, enjoys life. I got to ask though, right off the bat, who's Tito?
There's nobody named Tito. Tito is an affectionate term for uncle.
Okay.
So it's like your favorite uncle's tacos.
Ah, is that so that's a term that's used a lot, Tito, as an affection term of affection.
Yes, it is.
So your grandfather opened the store there, Culver City. Tell me about him a little bit.
Well, my grandfather was from Mississippi, and he came out to Los Angeles when he was 16 and worked for an uncle who had a supermarket. And from there, he was a serial entrepreneur, small businesses, liquor stores mainly. And then when he was 62, he opened up Tito's Tacos with his partner, Benny Biscara. And the first employee hired was Amado Madera. A lot of longtime customers would recognize him. He's retired now. He retired when he was 80.
Wow. How long was he with you?
Well, from 59 until I think he retired 6 or 7 years ago.
Oh my God. That's his
Sweetest
whole
man.
life. That's
Yeah,
his
the
whole life.
sweetest
He's
man.
family.
Yeah.
Tell
His
me his
brother
name one
was
more time.
also the main chef at our commissary. So the whole family, we know them all.
Tell me his name one more time.
Amado Madera.
Amado Madera.
And his brother was Javier Renteria.
Hats off to you, gentlemen, making great tacos all those years. God, I wonder how many tacos they made.
Yeah. I was pretty scared when they retired. I was, how is this transition going to work and all this? So I was down here a lot of hours during that time to make sure everything transferred over.
You just thought he was going to keep going forever at 80.
Well, that would have been nice, but he's entitled to a retirement. He worked hard for many years.
All right. After all those years. But man, so your customers, what position was he everywhere? Was he at the window? Was he on the grill?
Well, in the beginning, he was in the kitchen and serving customers. And then later on, as he got older, he was a cashier, and he would walk around the dining room and talk to the customers. He was just so adorable.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody loves him.
So is he, in a way, he's, one of the faces that everybody, thousands and thousands of people that have frequented Tito's Tacos.
Yes.
Recognized. Yeah.
Yes. Wonderful man.
Very special. So tell me, Tito's Tacos, 1959, that's in the restaurant business. That's a success. That doesn't happen very often. What was Tito's Tacos like then compared to now? Has it changed? And
there have been some changes. It's had more employees than in 1959. In 59, there was just Amado and my grandfather and his partner.
Mm-hmm.
And the partners split up about a year later. Benny Biscara wanted to buy out my grandfather, but then he couldn't come up with the money. So my grandfather borrowed $4,000 from his ex-wife, my grandmother, and he bought him out, and that's how that worked out. That was then. And then I started working there in 71, rolling burritos. Back in those days, there was no POS system or anything. We were supposed to take the order at the window and add it up in our heads as we're making up the order.
That's old school.
Yeah, it's real old school.
Very old school.
Right.
I'm surprised you didn't have like pinto beans or something on the counter you had to do math with.
That would have helped.
That would have helped you, right?
Yes, I would have had fewer errors.
How many recipes are there currently, or menu items? Not recipes. How many menu items are on the menu, do you think?
Oh, I haven't counted. About six.
6, you say?
Six. Yeah, we've got tacos, burritos, enchiladas, tamales, flan.
And so each one of those, I love that too, because a lot of restaurants just start to grow, especially when restaurants that have been around for a long time. You know, a customer goes, I like, why don't you have a burger on the menu, even though you're Tito's Tacos, or why don't you have this or that? And then before you know it, it's 50 items. So you do 6 or so really, really well.
Yes,
Are they
well,
your-
there are variations in the burritos, but
Yeah.
that's all
the
right.
6 main. Okay, so are they the original recipes from 1959, do you think?
I would say they're original recipes from 1960. During 59, they were experimenting with the recipes a lot. So they got rid of the chorizo and things like that caused stomach aches.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's always good to, yeah, that's always good to eliminate the items that make your customers have a stomach ache after they eat there. That's smart business. I like that.
yes,
That's
yeah,
clever.
I thought so too.
That was very clever. So your father really was involved, or your grandfather, excuse me, was really involved in taste testing and creating this
Yes,
small,
yeah, yes,
small but really good menu. Now,
right.
can you tell me, and because you've been there, you said you started working in there in 70,
71, yes.
71. So
Well, actually, the first time I actually worked was in 1966. My grandfather hired me for 25 cents an hour to clean the tables. So this was when we were back on the corner. I would see somebody leaving from a table and I would have to race the next customer to the table to clean it so that it was clean when they got there.
give him an elbow. Wait.
Yes,
You were like,
it was
"Oh."
that. And I just ran and ran and ran. And after doing this 4 hours a day all summer, I was exhausted after 4 hours.
So you were like, if I made a comparison, this is the image that came to mind. Like for tennis, you were like a ball woman or a ball girl or a ball boy, where you're at the edge of and then as soon as you rush out there and grab it and
Yes,
the
yeah,
table,
that's kind of how it was.
you're ready to go.
Pretty interesting.
You got your spray and your towel, you're ready to go.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was fun though.
So can you tell me if you know your grandfather, when he created these recipes, because these are really great recipes. These are tacos and burritos and enchiladas and tamales that people are guacamole that are made from scratch and that people come back for a few times a week, if not more. And year after year since 1959. What was when they were working and building the recipes, your grandfather and his partner, and then your grandfather and your family? Are some of the ingredients unique to Mexico or to California? Where were they sourced? Brag a little bit about your process and maybe even explain, for those that don't know what a scratch restaurant is and made from scratch.
Well, what that means is we make everything fresh daily. We work closely with a tortilla factory that does custom tortillas for us. Our flour tortillas are custom made. What makes them taste so yummy is there's a touch of butter in them. And then the corn tortillas are delivered hot every morning to our commissary, where the ladies fold the meat into the tortillas while it's still hot. That's how they get their shape.
Oh, so let me ask you a question because I've never heard this before from anybody else. My family's Spanish. My grandmother spoke only Spanish, de la Torre, and a long line in Santa Barbara here, 4 generations, 5 generations. There's even streets in Santa Barbara named after my family, my
Ooh,
great grandparents.
congratulations.
Thank you. I don't get a royalty check or anything, so I don't know.
Oh,
Nobody
well.
throws me a parade. But anyway, we have my grandmother, my nana, made these great pinto beans and homemade tortillas,
Mhm.
and we would put butter on them to make burritos. And every person from Mexico that I've ever talked to goes, "What are you doing? That does not belong together. Butter and that's just weird." And you just said they put butter in the tortillas. And I mean, maybe not
They put, there's a
in
little
as
touch of butter in the flour tortillas for the burritos. Yeah.
So what is that? Is it a thing or is it not a thing? Is it taboo or is it frowned upon or is it?
I never thought of it. I think it's just fine because the tortillas taste great.
Yeah, and everything tastes
It
better
tastes
with
great.
butter.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
they
Sorry to
taste
throw you
good.
off.
No,
So the
that's
tortilla
okay.
company, give us the name and
It's La Gloria.
uh-huh.
The owner, Fernando, we work very closely with him, and he custom makes our tortillas. They get there at around 3 in the morning and start making the tortillas, cooking them and bagging them up, and then they're taken over to our commissary by about 8, and that's when they're folded into the tacos. The tortillas for the chips are not as hot as the taco tortillas, but they're still warm, and when those are cut up and then they're fried here at the restaurant for the chips. And it's they're made the old-fashioned way. There's only corn, water, and a touch of lime in them. That's all that's there. There's no preservatives. It makes our tacos and tamales gluten-free, just in case.
Mm-hmm. That's a new addition probably in the last 20 years.
Well, the tacos have always been gluten-free. We had them that way before it was popular, I guess.
Trendsetter. It's ground zero. I told you Tito's Tacos, ground zero for everything great in life that tastes good. Uh, okay, so could you also tell me, are there any other, local farms that you use or cheese purveyors or, you make avocado
Yes,
farmers?
yes. We get our cheese from a specific factory in Seattle, Washington. It's a whole milk cheddar cheese. It's very unique and they're very consistent. So I've been buying the cheese from them for 30 years or so, and it's great. It grinds up, it's not real small grind. It's shredded really nicely.
Doesn't stick together if it's put back in the refrigerator for the next day. How
We
many?
keep it cold all the time.
Yeah.
It doesn't warm up.
It doesn't last long enough. It's in a taco
Right.
burrito and out the door. What,
Then it melts.
or I should say out the window. What is the count? Do you ever you got a count? Like how many tortillas do you think you get per day? Order from this.
Well, we've counted out how many tacos we sell. During the week, it's anywhere from 3,500 to 5,000 a day. And on the weekends,
Day?
yeah, on the weekends,
35.
yeah, on the weekends, it could be as many as 8,000 on a really good weekend.
And they're all pretty good weekends, aren't they? I mean, admit that. You could admit it. It's pretty good. Pretty good
Most
down there.
are, yes, most are very good. Yes.
Do you ever
We
wonder,
keep
do you ever wonder, like, where do these people put away all these tacos? There's so many tacos you've made. So 35, let's say it's, and you do 8,000, say it's 5,000 an average maybe a day.
Yeah.
Times 7, 35,000 a week times 52. Doctor D, do the math for me. I want to know. times 52 times how many years you've been open? You've been open since 59.
Well, in 59, they weren't selling that many.
Let's pretend they were. Richard is using the pinto beans to count over there. 1 million, is that right? 825,000 tacos. How that's for a year. Times how
That's
many
right.
years? 60, 70, 80. I'm sorry I'm
No.
doing math in this interview, but I'm just fascinated by this. Since 59. How many years is that? 61 years? So are you doing a big 75? Wow. 111. 111,000. Wait, 111 million billion? I can't read.
No, no, no,
111
no,
million.
no. The volume of tacos has gone up. It was actually quite small in the early days. I remember my father started working there, Norman Davidson, in about 1962. And I remember, I think it was 63 or something. My grandfather and my father were in the kitchen of our house, and they actually had a drink because they had the first time Tito's had grossed $50 in a day. That was the first time I ever saw my dad drink. So yeah, that was a big one.
He was drinking. He was happy.
They were both happy.
How old were you?
9 maybe.
9. Nice to see your dad happy, isn't it? Nice to
Yeah,
see him succeed. What?
it was nice to see both of them together because
So
working with both of them early on, it was so much fun. I learned so much. They were really hard on me, so I had to toughen up. At first, I would, they'd yell at me, do this, do that, do this, do that, and I would just stand there and cry. And then,
Aw.
oh wait, hey, you have
You,
to toughen up. Just get with the program here.
how
So
old were
that,
you at this point? You were 12 when you started working there, right?
well,
Or you
yeah,
can
that was a one summer. But
can you
when I
say?
when I started working there in 71, it was part time. I was finishing high school, and I worked there on the weekends, and that was when that stuff started.
Did your whole family work there?
No,
No.
no, my grandfather, my father. Um, I have 2 sisters and 3 stepbrothers. My sisters and 2 of the stepbrothers both worked there for a very short period of time, but working behind the counter of a fast food restaurant wasn't their thing.
Hmm.
I just hung out because I was having a good time.
And you still are. You're still hanging out. So you
Yes,
still be having a good time. Uh,
yes.
yeah, with being hard. Well, you know what? I've got to take a break. I'm going to ask this last question, but then I need to take a break. Um, I've gone 7 minutes over because I'm having so much fun talking to you. So you mentioned they were hard on you, but that was obviously they had a motivation for that. They wanted to make you the businesswoman that you and successful businesswoman that you are today. And I'm sure it wasn't
I'm
mean
not
spirited.
sure that's what they had in mind.
No,
No,
like
no, they were very,
give
very
credit.
old school. When growing up, my father said, uh, make sure your hair is always combed, and you need to learn to like football so that you can catch a husband.
Mm. That was kind of the thing though back then, wasn't it? That was
Well,
the
yes, it was. It was a long time ago. My grandfather was born in 1898.
yeah.
You have to expect some stuff like that. I just kind of did what I wanted to do.
Well, I love that. Lynne Davidson, co-owner of Tito's Tacos, with her husband, the granddaughter of the original owner, is our special guest today. Lynn, we're going to take a real quick break, but we'll be right back. I can't wait to get back to this conversation. I do have, I work with a restaurant group up here in Santa Barbara, Rudy's Taco, Rudy Alvarez. He has his whole family works in the business, and they have like
Oh,
5
that's
locations.
wonderful.
You know of them?
I've
Or,
heard of them. Yeah, I've
uh,
heard of them.
And
Yeah.
they told me his daughter, I know she's my age, and she said I was in the crib by the prep table as a baby, and cheese is
Right.
falling on me and flour, and my mom's up there rolling tortillas.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I do too. The health department was a little looser in those days.
Yeah, and the labor guy, the labor ages, I guess, labor board didn't frown on a 12-year-old working at Tito's
No,
Taco.
you can have relatives working for you. You can have child labor if they're related to you.
Huh. I didn't know that. I've been in this business all
Yeah,
my life.
it's a good
Guess
thing.
I don't have any children, so I didn't know that fact. All right. Why is Tito's Tacos so famous? It was opened in 1959 and is known for its American style hard shell taco and burritos. Considered a Los Angeles area icon, the restaurant was named to Fox News list of the 10 best tacos in America in 2014, and it was ranked number one on the Daily Meals Top 35 Burritos in America list in 2015. It's known and famous for its folded hard shell tacos and burritos, beloved for decades by celebrities, locals, and visitors. Tito's menu features crispy beef tacos, tamales, burritos, enchiladas, tostadas, and guacamole, and many, many other sides and dishes combinations. The award-winning cuisine at Tito's Tacos is made from scratch using original recipes and is served to thousands of loyal fans daily, often by employees who they call family, who have been with Tito's for decades. You can go to titostacos.com and start salivating with me. And on social media, you can follow them on Instagram at Tito's Tacos USA, at Tito's Tacos on Facebook, at Tito's Tacos California on Twitter. And I warn you, do it at your own risk. We'll be right back.
Okay, record.
Okay, cool. How you doing? Let me grab
Oh,
some.
Go
I need
for
a
it.
drink. We're doing, Lynn, like how many shows? Like 6 shows today back to back. So I need lots of
oh,
caffeine. Although I'm high on this topic, I just like talking to you about this. This is talking to you. Okay, let me get back to my questions here. Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome back. Happy Thanksgiving. Welcome back to the Jeremiah Show Thanksgiving week. We have Lynne Davidson. She is the co-owner of Tito's Tacos, the world famous Tito's Tacos down in Culver City, founded in 1959 by Benjamin Davidson, who is her grandfather. She is a co-owner with her husband, Wirt Morton. It's iconic. It's an iconic Mexican fast casual restaurant in Los Angeles. Lines are always long. And you know what? There are a few restaurants out there that like have this such an iconic status, Dr. D, where people are lined up around the block all the time and they're actually happy about it because it's an experience in itself. You're in the know, you know where to go. You bring people there when they come in and visit you from LA. And it's just very, very cool. It's a very cool spot. I definitely say go check it out. If there are not many places I would say go make this a destination if you don't live there. If you're traveling through LA, get over there. Have a Tito's Tacos. Why do you think, Lynn, that Tito's Tacos has gripped and grabbed a hold of the culinary scene down there and been such an iconic restaurant all these years?
I think the real secret is that we make the food fresh every day. Our meat is delivered, it's fresh. It comes in a big chuck roll, and we have meat cutters that cut it up into the chili con carne meat or the bigger chunks for the taco meat, and it's cooked fresh and then ground up for the taco meat, finely shredded, and then the beef for the burritos is cubed, and it's the chili con carne is slow cooked. The meat in the tacos is slow cooked. Nothing is rushed.
So, but does I mean, I've been there. The food comes out. You're not waiting a long time, but you're getting this scratch fresh food made to order. Um, that many tacos, 3,500 to sometimes 8,000 on the weekends a day, or burritos and menu items that you're making. The prep kitchen must just be the guys must just be and women of Tito's Tacos just must be working nonstop.
We have a separate kitchen with 17 people working in it. And then we've got a pretty big kitchen here, and we have 2 or 3 people in there all the time, heating up food, refrying beans, uh, taking up enchiladas, trays of enchiladas. We have people doing that all the time. And then there's the servers who are actually putting the lettuce and cheese on the tacos or scooping an enchilada into a tray to go. And we've got a really good system where the lines move really fast. They move faster than when you were living in Santa Monica.
You get better and better. You're perfecting your grandfather's creation, huh?
Well, people don't like to wait in line.
No.
Even if they have a smile on their face, they'd rather wait less time than more time.
Yeah, I can eliminate lines from my life forever and not miss them, but I really do feel like it's experienced. You know, you're talking, if you have to wait in a line, it's a good line to wait in. It's an experience. And speaking of the experience,
Actually, you don't have to wait in line. You can order ahead online for pickup or delivery, and you don't have to wait in line at all, or they could bring it to your house.
oh well, then you never leave.
Easy.
And you just eat tacos all day. And burritos. You're making it too easy for us here. Do they
Yeah, we can deliver to Santa Barbara too.
That was how'd you know my next question? You guessed it. Yeah, how much would that cost us? I don't care.
Probably
Let's pay
quite
it.
a bit. Probably quite a bit. The
Yeah,
first day
whatever.
we had delivery, we actually had somebody have tacos delivered to San Diego.
Mm, that's a cool story. Was it
Yeah.
delivered in a limo? On a gold
No.
platter? That's a cool story. I like that's something to brag about, right?
Yeah, I
Those
just
tacos
did.
are so good. Somebody had them delivered to. How do they taste? By the way, by the time they get to San Diego, probably not as good as.
Well, actually, for a trip like that, we package the lettuce and cheese separate, and you can stick the taco in an oven at a low temperature and heat it up, and it'll be just as good.
What a pro you are.
I've worked that one out. I've done it at home.
When I was putting the soundtrack together for this episode, I was having fun because I started kind of thinking about LA in the 80s and the I don't know 80s 90s and the music, the street scene, and I started thinking about how many um, cultural milestones you must have witnessed at Tito that passed by Tito's Tacos over the years. Can you think of any that stand out to you?
Yeah, probably everything. 2001, that was a scary day. 9/11 was really scary.
How so? Describe the scene. Describe.
Everybody looked shell-shocked. 9/11, they were all shell-shocked, and for that week following there, we had a real bump in business. People wanted comfort food.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know what to expect. So we just made the best of it. And there were, in the 80s, there was the stock market crash and all these things. It didn't really affect us that much.
Did the riots get near you at all when,
We've had some where they've had curfews and we've had to close early.
mm-hmm.
That's happened a few times. You just try to go with the flow.
Yeah. You've seen it all flash by the windows there as you're making and feeding people in the world. I thought about also you've got on your website, one of the cars, the great LA cars and that car scene and those, people that cruise with the hydraulics and the music and that really work on the cars. What is that? It's on your website, and I think it's, Southern California, but
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Well, there are people that come down here and show off their cars.
hmm
We've seen lots of very unusual cars, fancy cars. I like sports cars,
yeah.
so I'm always looking at those.
But I remember that too, because I would come down on the weekends, like there's nothing better to do after you've, down the street. I used to run the Enterprise Fish Company down there on
Oh,
kind of close by.
really?
Yeah, for many, many years. And I
Mhm.
lived at the shores, and then we would, you got the farmers market, you're kind of hung over on Sunday, and you go down to Tito's Tacos, I mean, everybody gathers down there, and then there's the cars out, and it's just, it's Southern California, LA life defined.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
You give back a lot to your community, and you personally are very passionate about not only fellow restaurateurs help, like I mentioned at the top there, you won that the Elizabeth Burns Lifetime Achievement Award from the California Restaurant Association, Lifetime Achievement Award for your advocacy with restaurants, restaurant owners, the community. Can you tell me, we got listeners on this show in over 100 countries around the world that listen religiously every week. I don't know why, but they do. Probably for great guests like you. And um, that was a knock against me, not you. Uh, but describe Culver City, the Culver City you grew up with, the Culver City there is now, your neighborhood, maybe some of your neighbors, some of your friends, as if describe it, for these people that are in Dublin right now going, what's that like there, Culver City? What's Tito's Tacos like? What do you see out
Well,
here?
we're in Southern California, so it's always most of the time warm and sunny. And next door is Johnny's Pastrami, and we have another Mexican restaurant, Cinco de Mayo, right next door. Near us is Maple Block Barbecue. They're great people there. And Metro Cafe, we're friends with those people over there. It's great. It's great. How I ended up getting a Lifetime Achievement Award is because I think it's basically from complaining. I will go to city council meetings. I've done this a lot. I've testified in the state assembly on workers' comp bills and things like this. And you just keep at it. Most of the time you're not successful. It can be pretty frustrating, but if you just get mad enough, you'll go and complain and explain what's going on so other people can understand your point of view. It's
You
important for the industry, especially after the pandemic.
yeah,
The industry's really taken a big hit. A lot of restaurants are closed, and
so
it's really sad. And I don't want to see any more, particularly independent restaurants. I don't want to see them closing.
I know. I agree with you. Um, our good friend Caroline Stein is, uh, you know, really worked with on that as well. I don't know if you know her from Luke, Caroline, and Suzanne Goen, but they, the Save Restaurants. We've been promoting that throughout COVID and before, when they started that around for COVID, but lobby
Right.
Congress and I all to protect independent restaurants. And I don't know what the final tally is, but I also know the math, and that uh, independent restaurant owners, sometimes you're in one of the better restaurants to make a better bottom line, but it's still very, very, very tight. And very, labor going up and, ingredients and all that. And the restaurants that usually don't pass that along. I hope they are now to survive. But
Well, you have to pass some of it along. You have to
yeah,
pass some of it along. Otherwise, you go out of business.
yeah,
And I think one of the reasons Tito's has been able to survive as long as it has is I'm really, really careful. I get paid last. I make sure everything else is taken care of. And I live cheap. So that way, like when the pandemic hit, we closed for 2.5 months. My husband and I liquidated our what was supposed to be our retirement savings
mm,
and put it back in the restaurant. We got most of it back, And it's that's what you do. That's how you make it last, is by just being real careful with it. You make it, it's your baby. It's not there to service you. It's the other way around. You have to take care of it like it's a baby.
So true. So wise. Um, were there, your grandfather started Tito's Tacos in 1959, and during the pandemic, nobody saw that coming, obviously, and we all tried to figure it out together how to get through it. But restaurants, I think, especially independent restaurants, suffered quite a bit. Was there ever a point that you and your husband liquidated your retirement uh, during that time to say, keep the restaurant afloat, your employees, I'm sure, fed? And did you ever get scared, or let yourself get scared and say, God, what if it ended right here with me, what my grandfather had started? Did you ever go there?
Yeah, I thought, I didn't know what would happen, like everybody else. You do the best you can and hope you can get through it. And we were really, really lucky. We had core managers that we worked with through the whole time we were closed down, and we made all these plans, and we figured out how to speed up the lines and do all these things while we were closed. And then when we opened, when we reopened, it was great.
I bet. Have you seen the business come back to pre-pandemic?
Not quite, not quite. It's not quite pre-pandemic. There's a labor shortage. If there was, more available labor, I could extend my hours. We're still on shorter hours than what we used to be. So as soon as the labor thing eases, should hopefully be able to extend our hours again, which would be nice.
I got to take a break, but I want to say you bring up a great point. Every restaurant owner that I know is, they have to close on Tuesday for lunch. These odd, weird things happen. I got to close at 9 tonight because I don't have somebody didn't show up. I got to say, for those out there that are listening, there is no better career than the hospitality industry, especially if you're young, you're in college, and it's your first job, or you work your way up. Those are going to be the best years of your life. You do not want to you don't want to be a TikTok sensation, or what do you call it? Whatever. You don't want to be you don't want to sit on the couch and play video games and try to whatever you do and you're doing now, go get a restaurant job. The industry needs you.
Yes, we need you bad.
We need you badly, and I swear to you, you're going to meet the best people that will be friends for life. You're going to have the very best experiences. Nobody has better experiences at the end of a long, busy shift, and you go out with all your friends after the restaurant business, and you stay up all night listening to music and having fun and howling at the moon or whatever. But you guys did it together, and it's good. It's a good industry. You make a lot of money too if you're good. So that's my little.
Yes, you can. Even in fast food, people don't realize that managers generally make six-figure salaries, and you can get there.
And if you're an adrenaline junkie, restaurants are the place for you, because you got that energy going all the time, and trying, like you used to have when you were young, and trying to bust the tables before the people sat back down. It's a good industry. I say go out there today and get a job in the industry. If you're in Culver City, go see Lynne Davidson at Tito's Tacos. Opened in 1959, known for its American-style hard-shell taco and burritos. Check them out on social media. First, go to titostacos.com. You can find all of these social media handles there, but I'll give it to you anyway. Instagram, Tito's Tacos USA, Tito's Tacos on Facebook, and Tito's Tacos California on Twitter. We'll be right back. All right.
Okay.
I know we want to talk tamales, and I would like, if
we're running out of time.
Yeah. Uh-oh, you got to go? People have more? What other things am I missing that you might want to talk about, Lynn? Am I missing anything that?
No, just the tamales.
Okay.
That's what
I want to come back, if you don't mind, because I set it up and we didn't get there, but some of the things that Tito's Tacos does to give back in the community.
Oh, okay, we can
For
do that.
instance, you know, Taco October 4th, which I missed. You have the festival. Just anything that you want to mention, you know, I'll kind of set you up again on that. And then things that are important to you, like the California, I don't know if the California Culver City, what is it? I have the website here of the arts. It's called,
Culver City Arts Foundation.
yes. Where did I put that?
Yeah, there's
Website.
arts are very important.
Oh, yeah. Culver City Arts Foundation. So do you mind if I set that up? And if you want to talk about it a
That's
little
great,
bit, we
yeah.
passed it, but it's your 5th annual, 6th annual coming up maybe. All right.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. And then we'll go to
Forget about
tamales.
tamales, that's okay.
No, I want to go. We have, do you have time? I've got 8 more minutes on my clock.
Okay.
Or do you got to go?
No, I don't have to go. I'm here as long as you want me.
Okay, great. Well, let's do it.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to the Jeremiah Show. My special guest today is Lynne Davidson. She's the co-owner of Tito's Tacos along with her husband. She's been in the family since 1959. Her grandfather opened it. She's been working there since she was 12 years old. She does a lot in the community. Tito's Tacos really gives back, thanks to Lynne Davidson and her family. For instance, on October 4th, I don't know if you know this, Dr. D, but it is National Taco Day. At my house, it's National Taco Day like 4 days a week. But this past year, Tito's Tacos and Tito's Handmade Vodka teamed up for the 5th year in a row to host Tito's Fiesta Mexicana, an annual event that celebrates National Taco Day and National Vodka Day while raising funds for the Culver City Arts Foundation. We just missed this on October 4th. The Culver City Arts Foundation preserves the past, enriches the present, and creates the future of arts and culture in Culver City. Culver Arts is comprised of community leaders like Lynne Davidson who volunteer their time, experience, and the resources for the growth of the arts within Culver City. Check out culverarts.org. Lynne, tell me about some of the things that you do for the community.
Well, our biggest one is our Tito's Fiesta Mexicana. It's National Taco Day and National Vodka Day. So this was my husband's idea to get the Tito's Handmade Vodka and Tito's Tacos together.
Mm-hmm.
And we throw this great fiesta. We have fabulous mariachis. We start off in the afternoon with some live ranchero music. Then it goes on to, we had metalachi play. So we had rock and roll mariachis. And then we had Las Reinas de Los Angeles, the all girl mariachi band, and Sol de Mexico, and folklorico dancers. And everybody eats tacos and burritos and makes piñatas. And we raised $26,000 for the Arts Foundation that day. We had 1,700 people attend, and all the money goes directly to the Arts Foundation. They tell us how much money they make. And we just throw this big party, and it's really fun. It's really fun, and it's a good cause.
Is there anything coming up that you wanted to make us aware of?
No, I don't think so.
Well,
we also make lots of other donations. Arthritis Foundation. We give away gift cards to local schools. They're always calling, so we hand out gift cards all the time.
Yeah. Well, thank you for all that you and your family there at Tito's Tacos does for Culver City, for the community, and just, to make our world a better place.
Actually, it's my husband that sets up the whole party. He does all the work. He's the one with all the great ideas. They just one after another. He's got all these ideas.
Just in case they're tuning in, tell us, you want to talk about your husband a little bit?
Well, he's my business partner. He handles advertising and promotions and things like that. He kind of pretty much stays out of the operations because I do that. So that way we don't have any conflicts.
That's good. That's smart.
We do different things, and it works well.
Okay, listen, I got 4 minutes left, and I've been waiting to ask you about this the entire show. But I thought, I've always heard that you always want to leave them wanting more.
Ah,
Your holiday tamales. Let's leave our listeners wanting more from Tito's Tacos.
well, we have two kinds of tamales. We have a chicken tamale. Um, the ladies make them here every day. They're chicken in a fresh tomatillo sauce and a Anaheim chili, and it's wrapped up and then steamed, and they're delicious. There's an 8-ounce tamale, so one tamale is a meal. Comes with a meat sauce that goes with it, and it comes with salsa and chips. And then we have our veggie tamale. It's fresh sliced vegetables, potatoes, green beans, carrots, and a tomatillo sauce, and a Anaheim chili in it, and it's inside the masa. We put in whole pinto beans for a nice texture, and then the sauce is a fresh red bell pepper and onion sauce that goes on top of it. It's really, really good, and it is vegetarian.
Dr. D over here loves tamales. We're not giving him a mic today, so he can't tell you about his family recipe, but he loves them. He'll have to come. We'll drive down and try them. Or don't forget they deliver to Santa Barbara and Dublin if you want them delivered to Dublin. It's been so nice to talk to you. I thank you for taking the 12 o'clock busy lunch hour off your schedule for us and giving that hour to us. Lynne Davidson, co-owner of Tito's Tacos, along with her husband, who does so many great things, but stays out of operations. That smart man. Stays out of your way there, smart man. Lynne, thank you so much. You final words, anything you want to say to your fans out there?
Thank you very much. And come and see us soon. We, especially you, we miss you.
Okay, I'll come back.
Great.
You all come back now. All right.
That's good.
Yes. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Happy holidays. Be safe. Take care of each other. Communicate, listen more, and evolve. Have a great Thanksgiving.
Bye-bye.
All right. We got to get a soundbite from you, Lynne, if you don't mind, which is basically, you may know or may or not know, we call it a radio drop soundbite. Introduce yourself. Your name.
I'm Lynne Davidson.
Yep. And then, not yet, but then, sorry. And then say, come down to Tito's Tacos, try the tamale, whatever you want to say in the middle there, however you want to promote your restaurant. And then just say, and you're listening to the Jeremiah Show. And we'll use this in future shows so that you keep getting a plug.
Oh, okay. I'm Lynne Davidson, owner of Tito's Tacos.
Sorry. I'm so sorry. I forgot to tell you. I got to count you down so that we got the recording right. Okay, ready? 3.
I don't know how to do this.
Sorry. Yeah, you're doing great. You've done great. 3, 2, 1.
I'm Lynne Davidson, owner of Tito's Tacos. We'd love to see you soon for our world famous tacos, burritos, and tamales. Come on by and see us. This is the Jeremiah Show.
Perfect.
That was it? Okay.
That was perfect. Thank you so much. All right. Well, you can pretend like we're still interviewing if you want to hide out in the office a little longer. I won't tell. All right.
Well, they're waiting for me.
Thank you so much. I'll come see you soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.